So Right. Death Metal Podcast. I went 5 minutes earlier because I saw there were so many people lining up in the queue. So we're live. This is a live death metal show that is interactive with the chat and unsponsored and just spontaneously done. All normal death metal podcast watchers know that normally I might go on for like 3-4 many hours of just playing music or talking to people. But I've decided this past week that we're going to start to split our episodes up a little bit and make them a little bit shorter, maybe coming at a 2-hour mark versus like a 4-hour mark, and then just have like more episodes over the course of time. You know what I mean? That way I could play newer music a little faster. And then I'm not just stuck on just Saturdays, you know what I mean? Like certain Saturdays, like I don't want to be on here. I want to go do something like, I don't know. So, or work on my business or be with my kids or do something just different, go fishing. So Death Metal Podcasts comes live just like spontaneously a lot of times. So I appreciate a lot of people, though, obviously are subscribed to us because I see every time I turn on the stream, like 30 or 40 people are like, boom. So that's cool. And that's only what's tracked on here, not the VPNs and everything. So everybody, I really appreciate. This is live. Oh, my God. Death Metal Podcast. That's right. How do I send a video to show? I don't know. I can't show it during the show because I set up everything beforehand usually. Getting drunk at San Antonio in 2011. It's necroharmonic@gmail.com if you want to send a video, though. And if it's death metal, then maybe it'll get played on here. Or some gory grind. Thank you, man. Nice shirt. Fuck yeah. They made one for me. Just, I think it was like the Crypt Records were putting out the Pertinence double LP, and with the Pertinence and the Pertinence Avulsion, and they made like a limited run of shirts, and I was like, can I get a 3X? They said, I'll order a special one just for you. So it's a demo cover one. Oh, my hair all over me, sorry. So anyway, next up we got let's see here. I want to send a shout out to Amanda, and then her new band Body Wall Defect. This is their new demo. I think they just recorded this like this week.
Rogers, Asher,
All right, there you have it. So Amanda's in the chat too, and she said her own logo is trash. So if anybody's on here wants to make a logo for that band, that's the sound, do it up. So I think Amanda is on maybe as Faucet Freak on Twitch would be a good way to reach out, or IG. No problem. Good logos are hard to make. That's right. Yeah, it is. Well, the song was just recorded this week, so we did a special premiere right here. So up next, we got I like I said, I'm gonna start doing like shorter episodes just so everybody knows. So things might go like a little fast sometimes, where I'm just like da da da. This is old demo from 1990, Hardware from Mexico. They were like mixing in like death metal and like industrial stuff. And I remember Enrique from Sadistic Intent on Gothic Records put like a 7-inch, or maybe it was like an off label of that. Check out the demo. Only the best on DMP. That's right. So that was Hardware. Yeah, and at the time, like they had such like a different sound, right? They were kind of coming with like keyboards and some like completely, reckless ass death metal riffs that were like kind of progressive, you know what I mean? And the band was from Mexico. The demo was from 1990. So yeah, it probably got a little buzz in Cali, and then there was a 7-inch on I was I don't know if I got mine from Gothic Records or but there was a label. It was like Extinction Records or something. I don't remember, something like that, Cerebral Extinction or something. And it was like it had a full color cover, and it had that Alfonso Artgore art on there. And I remember he was in touch with I have like old like Gorephobia art, and I used to be in touch with him and write letters. And then he even drew like an art that was for something. I don't know what it was for. And then my friend got it tattooed on his body, on his back. It was like a huge piece. So it was really cool. Faucet Freak followed. Y'all check out Morpheus Descend bio. Yeah, Morpheus Descend. Sam. Shout out to Sam. So yeah, it was spacey, and I liked what Ian's comment here. It sounds kind of low budget as hell. I love it. So if you read on the demo cover, which you guys might not be able to see this, but I want to read it out a little bit. It says, "This tape was recorded in 2 days by Laser Productions with 8-channel mixers on a hardware store. It ain't a demo. This is only something for people to see. We exist. Wait for a real studio recording." So I was trying to read that, and I was trying to say, like, did they record this in a hardware store possibly? So all right. So yeah, people definitely talking in the Death Metal Podcast chat. Yeah, I'm not taking requests, letter requests. I can't download music fast enough. So I'm gonna play something real quick. With Death Metal Podcasts, like I said, like we sometimes could just blurry off here on for hours and hours. But over the time, like in the very beginning when I was fatter, I used to make like interviews and do like live streams. And then there was one that was like banned, and it was all about like Rhode Island. So there was all these like Rhode Island people on it and stuff. And I'm gonna play like a little clip. I want to try to taste it on here to see if the file will load. But this, I'm going to play this as its entirety, but I figured, you know what, let me try to give a little test of it on here to see if it plays. And then probably within the next week or two, I'll play the full 2-hour clip. It's 7 hours long, actually. And it's super informative about the scene up there. But let's see if this plays. I just did like some Adobe Premiere today, and I'm not really a pro at that. So let's see what's up. From What's up, everybody? Fucking Death Metal Podcast coming at you from New York and Rhode Island tonight. Got a lot of special guests. Rhode Island death metal scene, it was and is super popping. When I was younger, a long time ago, I used to go up to Rhode Island all the time because they had death metal festivals going on there. They had a bunch of bands that were super into it. A bunch of snarky bastards that were very similar to me. I kind of doing this like death metal podcast with a co-host tonight from Rhode Island, from a pretty well-known band from back in the day. He's not in the band right at the moment, but yeah, I'm sure he has no problem talking about the band. Play some rare stuff tonight on the show, and there's going to be there if you want to say what's up in the chat so we know you're here, that thing. And we just stayed on there for like epic amount of time. It was just, like you would think that, okay, like after we did that, like we blew our potential, wad, like doing a full phlegm interview,
But we could do
I
that
think
for a month.
there's a lot more to be talked about. You know what I mean? I know and hung around with phlegm, obviously, and I know Skinny Ray's been around phlegm a long time too, bro.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Jay Dyer saying, "What's up, Skinny?"
What's up, man? What's happening?
What's up,
Francisco checking in. Andy Jones. Best thrash in Massachusetts is Formicide.
Wow.
All right, hour 1 of 12.
Whoa,
Yeah.
you got Kitty ready for about an hour.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? You know what it was? We there was a night where I had like
We were like, make it the craziest you could fucking make it, and he was a 16-year-old kid. He was younger than most of us. I was 17 in that band. 17, just going on 18. He was like 16. And then he would just like, he was an amazing artist. He still is, from what I understand. But I haven't
talented as fuck.
What's that?
Talented as fuck.
Yeah, I really haven't seen him in probably 25, 30 years.
Right.
But when he was doing that stuff, like he'd kill it, man. Like you'd be like, oh, can you make me a logo? And like 20 minutes later, he'd literally shit that out, man.
That logo is undecipherable in a way, which is like, that's what they do nowadays. So you guys were way ahead of your time.
I was in another band after Procreation called Rancid Christ, and the original Rancid Christ logo, man, we had to actually add some, and Keith Ellenwood did that one too, and we had to be like, oh, can you at least darken the letters, because it literally looked like a bush. Any leaves on it. We're like, well, you got to at least make the letters a little bit darker, and we did, so we could decipher it. I used to have stickers and everything. I can't find anything anymore because
But Phlegm, on the other hand, Phlegm had a little firepower behind him because you had Fleet Printing.
Yeah.
So like basically, I'm sure everywhere you went in the city, maybe
Speaking
in
of
Providence, was either Phlegm stickers or, like the demo cover, obviously being printed at Fleet Printing. And so, I mean, Phlegm had a lot of promotion as far as like, I don't know if Jim used to do all the show flyers at Fleet Printing and everything like that.
As soon as we'd sneak in there at night, after like going to the living room to a club or a bar, and then just print stuff and try and bring chicks back there and break into the other buildings that were inside the where Fleet Printing was. There was like a really cool guy on the next level up who made like remote control toys, like way back in the day, obviously the 80s. Now they're they look like garbage, but they were cool back then. So we'd break into his place and play with toys all night while we were fucked up.
Also, all right, so that was just a snippet of what is to come. There's a full-ass Rhode Island episode where they're talking about their artists, demos, recordings. Remember, too, like, I just know these guys, and I asked questions, like, off the cuff. Like, I probably didn't even have questions prepared. I just ran with whatever I wanted to talk about. You know what I mean? Because that's how most of the Death Metal Podcast interviews were. Like, beyond like the Raw Stolen one where I had to they had so many immolation records, like I had to have like a list of them. Like sometimes I maybe would write out some questions for like an interview or something, but then like I noticed I can like conveniently like leave it like a completely across the house, and then I'll like start live casting, and then just like the questions come back to me, and then it kind of rolls off more naturally, that way I'm not like looking at a paper or you know what I'm saying? And this show is not about looking at Metal Archive in the middle of it. It's about things coming from like generic experience only, either just knowing stuff or about bands and just spreading the information, because like even I don't know some of it, because if I'm asking them like, hey, like who drew the Rancid Christ like demo logo or whatever, like sometimes I don't know that stuff. I mean, I'm not that much of a nerd. I mean, I'm pretty bad, but what's going on, brother? How's it going, Aaron? big ruin show happened. So up next, so like I said, in the future, probably this week or so, I took the 7-hour episode, chopped it down, and then I'm going to show like maybe 2 hours of it. And then you guys could, I saw my guest host was Andy Jones, and that thing was from 2011, actually. Yesterday we were speaking on it real quick, I think, and he said 2022, but what do you call it? The what do you call it? The live stream was like pretty popping. Like there was and then as time went on, even Tim from AC had joined, you know? So, all right. So next up, we got some more music. That was just a pure, like, I could have played that all night, right? Because how good it was. But next up, we got some Cystic Hyperogramia, the retrospective disabuse of disfigurements. All right. So total fucking hyper blast, right? That snare drum was crazy. Dude, what the fuck is happening? The graduation bash has been ruined. Yeah, you bring that and you just keep going at it. When does the song start? Right at when it goes da, 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 with the snare drum, right? That's when the song starts. And most of those songs. So up next, we're gonna go back in the past. This is an old Swedish live show. All right. So that was Carbonized. So let's talk about guitars with no headstocks. Like, I haven't seen that very much. I think I've seen a bass before like that, but I never saw a guitar with no headstock. So yeah, that was old Carbonized live with Matty Karki from Dismember singing back when he was in the band on the Autodafe demos and some of the early stuff. So totally sick. He had to have he had to have no headstock so they could fit on the stage. Exactly. Never felt like that. Where they put the strings when there's no headstock? They're just like strung into the back of the neck or something. I never seen a guitar with no headstock before, like until that Crematory video, and I had noticed it. Cav from Heresy had a no headstock bass. I've seen the no headstock bass. I just have not seen the no headstock guitar until literally like yesterday. So I mean, I'm not a guitar player, but I was like, damn, there's no headstock. Like, how do you like string up the rest? Like, how would you string the strings? You know, guitars with no headstocks hold tuning better due to reverse string setup. Interesting. That is an interesting comment. I think that not many are played, so I don't know. But Carbonized playing one is pretty interesting too, and Crematory. On the beach, make sure a picture with a headless guitar on every 7-inch. Sick. It's pretty brutal. Yeah, you learn. I mean, this is where we learn. This is like where I learn. On Death Metal Podcast, an informational channel. You know, like we go, you know, it looks like a new wave to me. Exactly. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of kind of like, you know, like when, you know, when metal got like new metal. But I mean, it's, you know, it's cool to see that with Crematory playing it. Was that the same guy who played in Crematory? Maybe Hellhammer 666 would no, because I saw something in the comments. Damn, this was the Jonas period of Carbonized. So obviously you had different periods of carbonized, and then you had Therion as well, you know? So, you know, and chat's blowing up on the headless guitars. There's no angle for the strings goes past the nut on the tuning peg, so it holds the tuning better. They're ugly as sin, though. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, man, this is what I want to learn about stuff like this. Plus, I like what the comments were saying there. They basically said, like, there's more room there's more room on the stage for the band, you know? There was a lot of members in Carbonized, right? But there was way technical playing. But didn't their 7 inches have just like 3 members on it too, or maybe that was the record? But that was a semi-classic. The cover on the record, of the Carbonized record, was like one of the best covers. We come back, we're gonna have a conversation about the cover of For the Security. Right now, I got a new live thing from Finland, Mortuous from 2023.
701 with Mortuous from San Jose, California.
All right, Mortuous. So that was some DOA. Exactly, brutal. I want to say too, I noticed a constant theme with death metal podcasts. So over the years, right, I noticed that I am supporting on here bands and people that supported Necroharmonic over like decades and stuff, because like literally like some of the members of some of the bands that end up getting played on here, I noticed that like it's a very self-sustaining environment. Like yeah, like they were like either buying something off me or something, and then like next thing you know, they get played on here. But not that it became like was completely generic that the way that happens. Like they were just fans, and then they had started bands, and then next thing you know, some of the bands that they're in are big now too, and like they were just like regular fans, just like me and you know. And then and then next thing you know, like I'm playing their band on here. It's like pretty cool cycle how it like works like that, like a cool little circle. It's they call it the underground, I think. So support it. Next up, I wanted to play some a deeper dive down the what do you call it? Hold on a second. Interesting cold care about Mamilla and recordings. Obscure Plasma and his zines are legendary. Exactly. So there's a couple little announcements I wanted to make. I saw this show was going on tonight. Spectral Voice, Godflesh. So if anyone is seeing this and you're at the show, please drop into Death Metal Podcast and hold your phone up at the thing. Or if you have a friend over there, send them a text or hit me necroharmonic@gmail.com, and I'll give you a link that they could literally stream the show right onto this. Because we want to see the Spectral Voice set. I don't think this went on early. It did say 6 p.m., but there's a 3-hour difference, so it's like 9 p.m. in California, right? So we could probably still catch this show, maybe, right? There's just that little slight chance, which would be fun. That would be sick, exactly. So I noticed a lot of people were traveling to that. I didn't really hit anybody up, My hair looks like an illegible band logo. What's up, Ken's Death Metal Crypt? We're trying to see if somebody will turn on their phone at this show right here, because I want to watch Spectral Voice and Godflesh live. But I don't know if that's going to happen, but it's worth a try, right? If you got a friend out in Colorado right now, send them a text and be like, hey, Roy wants to stream Spectral Voice or any band from that show. New Undergang. So I got another announcement. Undergang coming back. Here's one show they're doing, Knucklehead Hollywood with Sulfuric Purity. This is in July. And then there was an announcement put out where they're going to reschedule Ripping Headaches. I put all the info in this one, where Ripping Headaches is rescheduling for Undergang with Pissgrave, Miasmic Necrosis, and Putresect. So this is like the reschedule gig on the what do you call it? The work visa issue for Metal Threat, where Undergang couldn't come over. They're going to be playing those shows. And then they're also going to be doing a fest in Atlanta with Autopsy. So definitely support Undergang, cool band, cool guys, sick label. Might hit New York for this. Yeah, I figure, you know what? I want to talk about this in the chat too. So Miasmic Necrosis. Someone put the Derek from Churchburn stream Miasmic Necrosis for this show, actually. The Mass Destruction Fest in Atlanta. So that's starting to be pretty stacked lineup, where you have Undergang, Autopsy, bunch of good stuff. There's like a lot of bands I'm forgetting. Ken, the Crypt Keeper of Death Metal, is in the house. Hails to Ken. Presented by True Brewing in Denver, Colorado. Yeah, hail Ken. New Undergang is sick. It is super sick. That new split. Roy, do you want me to get Mortician next time I see them next month? Definitely. And then, what do you call it? If you know someone that's at that Colorado gig, John Grave, if you're watching this, or somebody knows somebody, let them know to touch base with me, and we'll see if we can get the show on here. you never know, man. And like I wouldn't try to do that in advance, but at the same time, you can't get hurt if we could watch. I want to watch Spectral Voice. Ken is the GOAT. So next up, we got more music. As I mentioned earlier, which I'm going to repeat, Death Metal Podcast, we're not going to be doing like 4-hour episodes anymore. I'm going to be splitting up the episodes into multiple parts. I'm going to be showing more like old interviews mixed with new interviews, kind of like the Phlegm one we showed earlier. I shouldn't say the Phlegm one, the Rhode Island one, where you had members of Phlegm, Head Rot, Rancid Christ, Churchburn. Eventually you had Skip from Head Rot on there also, and you had Tom from Phlegm, who's like on no interviews, and Andy Jones as the co-host, and then Tim from AC. That's what I meant to say. Came on the cast. Well, the show got banned though because something happened during the show that was too vile for YouTube, so it was immediately banned. So I'm going to cut it into parts and then re-show it on here on Death Metal Podcast. So, I showed like just a little preview of it. So you guys definitely know like what you're feeling in the future. We'll show another preview in a little while and then you'll know what to tune in for, because I want to cut the episodes down. They're just too long. Like, even though the episodes that have the most amount of views are the ones with the longest, I still think that Death Metal Podcast should be a little more furious and fast. So I'd rather have the episodes go like shorter, So up next we have Gomorrah. This is like said it was from 1987.
I'm trying to make it real. Cause it feels like it's real. I'm not how I'm guilty. I got to try it. Listen. I got community. I'm down to society. We are dangerous to the public. We are the bad information I'm here. Society. I'm dead society. And yes, I'm rich. And it's now our better. I'm dead society. I'm dead society. Everybody forget that. I was on the way for my life. All the battery. I'll get society. I'll get society. Music, fear. Discover now, next year. I'll get society. I'll get society. That's what they will feel. What's the deal to this career? I can ask how I'm innocent. And then to try society. Against society. Ignorance, epidemic, and now. And now is everywhere, with no better. Against society. Against society.
All right, Death Metal Podcast coming out with old whatever, that Gamora, like old Gizm. Yeah, it sounded a little Japanese, right? It was definitely out there. But that was old, a little Colombian. I think it was. It's South American. There's somebody in the chat that knew a little more about this band. If you want to step up to the plate. In the meantime, I wanted to announce my boy Will. He has a store for Worthless Endeavors. Should check it out. Let me take this comment off. Worthless Endeavors merch shop. Check it out. Definitely support Will. He's done a lot of good artwork for good classic albums. If you could see some stuff in the background there, and he's definitely an accomplished, sick artist. Support underground, man. That's what the show is all about. So let me see here. Let me take this down. It's an underground show, man. Want to support the underground people, you know? Like I said, this is a long-standing thing here. I notice, like, life is a big-ass circle. 1 minute, you know, you're going to a Gamora show and at, Studio One, and the dude from the singer or some kid in the band gives you, like, a shirt, and then he takes it back and gives it to another guy and another guy and another guy all night. Just one shirt for everybody. It was sick. You've always dreamed of owning a record store in Chicago. I think you got one in your basement, bro. Winter Burial. Everybody checked out after the show. Death Metal. The band is still going, believe it or not. Damn, dude. That's interesting. One of the bands will release a multicolored 47-page booklet with rehearsal demo on it. Charge $50. Yeah, man, no problem, brother. We want to support on here, dude. 100%, man. That's what the show is really about. Like, it's about the complete underground death metal community, man. I like that it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to go on here and like. The only bad thing about doing a YouTube is, like, you know, like afterwards they kind of like violate you because they put a list of stuff that you weren't supposed to play or you're not allowed to play, you know, and then you're just like, damn, man, I just want to support my friends' bands, you know. But I understand because the man's got to get paid or whatever. But at the same time, like, I don't want to do any episodes that have all that stuff all over it. I'd like to come through here and just skate through and just play some music and talk, you know? I don't want to be like told at the end of the video, like, no. So, you know, that's me though. So I'm going to throw this back on too, because there was a second part to this, which was the non-carbonized part. So check it out.
fått en massa demos. Ja, just det förresten. Jag är gamla Sovjet här. Ja. Hoppas ni är bättre. Fan, gör det mer va? Visar dem. Ni kan. Men det gjorde ni inte när ni spelade.
Maganus med medhörning hos trummisen.
the band more time to tune up than it did to play the song. But I did hear that. Wasn't that on the From Before Time thing or whatever? Those were super cool releases, and like Ken was saying in the chat, like an era of time that's like it can't even be replaced, right? And then like you had like all these like really, like obviously like just younger people just having fun and playing music, but out of it, it did spark Carbonized or Carnage or Therion. You know what I mean? The early Therion stuff. I mean, that's some incredible stuff. Like the playing is really killer, and the eeriness of like the solos and everything, like it can't be touched, man. Yeah, hit the like buttons, share, leave comments. Anyone that live streams needs additional like whatevers nowadays. So we gotta drool out a bunch of stuff advertisement wise, which is a pain. I hate to even care about that stuff. So, but the what do you call it helps the comments or something. So yeah, I think I was trying to like comment on like the other streamers that I stream with. I was like, I gotta break the ice and do the comment here, The screaming solos of the Therion was really the shit, exactly. And they were like memorable, you know what I mean? Because like they were and they had like their own little like cadence, right? Like a Swedish one, where like a Japanese band and their solos, they have like their own one, right? You guys notice that? Yeah, audience engagement. It's difficult to get it. Like I don't do the show for audience engagement. I don't care, but I mean we get some audience engagement, which is cool. Considering like I don't really put much effort into this. I'm just in here playing death metal stuff. I'm gonna play a little piece again of what is to come of death metal podcasts, because even though we play videos and this and that, I'm gonna try to split the episodes up a little bit. So I figure I'd let most people that watch me on Saturday know that we're not gonna do like 4 and 5 year episodes, 7 hours of death metal. I mean, it's cool, but I want to, like JD said last night, like sometimes we might chop it up and like throw out that chop it up episode, I for me though, I have plans to try to bring like unreleased interviews that I never showed anybody, because there was a bunch of those, and then try to hit some new interviews with bands, because there's many to talk to, you know what I mean? And and I'm sure a lot of them will be willing to talk to me, man. So I'm gonna play another little piece of this. I'm only gonna play a short part, and then we're gonna show like the full 2-hour thing probably within like a week or whenever I make a graphic for it or whatever.
Too like there was like a fest, and like Joe like fell asleep like right in the front row, dude. It was awesome.
It was great.
That was what you heard is the best of the worst, because there were quite a few other takes were going, oh no.
And it's weird too, because when you guys played that song, there was like songs I knew, and then there was like one song I didn't even know what it was. I think it was Tesla, and I was like, I don't know this song, because I didn't listen to Tesla. Basically,
love song.
I guess
the Genital Grinder cover is way heavier than Carcass's, by the way.
Carcass eats dick.
That one was like, you know what? This is how it's done. Like it was like that. You recorded that fucking intro.
No.
Yeah, that was
the best one, Derek, though, was when we did. I think it was part 3 where we actually made fun of Metallica. That was the best one.
Yeah, there was like I watched that song morph over the years too, like from live. Like you maybe would do like one version with Faith No More, and then like down the line it was like Metallica, right?
Yeah, we did Enter Sandman and something else, but
I have
maybe it's because I get to sing. That's why I liked it the best.
I think I have like a later, like after the whole Texas tour and the Incan thing, like I went up to Rhode Island a couple, I don't know, like it's 92 maybe. And I think there was like a soloist phlegm show, and you guys played that song. You might have played that other song too. I'm not sure. I'd have to dig the tape out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Was that when you were with Joe, Corpse Molestation Joe? Was that when you? That
No, me and Skip were talking about these the other day. Unfortunately, I had to take the friggin' podcast down. But that was in New Jersey, okay. And then Corpse Molestation Joe, yeah, he came over from Australia. I met him in New York City at the Arch in Washington Square Park. So then I took him on an adventure with me for like a week or so, and we went to all these shows.
Yeah, we
met up in Asbury Park for that festival thing. It was like a fest, and Skip was just talking about this too. Like, there was like a fest, and like Joe like fell asleep like right in the front.
All right, so that's to come, man. That's the Rhode Island episode. So I'm going to show the Rhode Island episode in its entirety. Over time, though, because it's so long. But the first 2 hours I have it encoded already. So it's got to make like a flyers or whatever. The normal YouTube stuff that takes longer than making the videos. So up next, what else we got new in the Chamber of Death here? You go to my DMP. This is Wretched from Norway, demo 94. All right, that was Wretched, old Wretched demo. Pretty rare stuff. See, the chat's lighting up. So I decided to, now at an hour and a half mark, I think we're going to do like a contest on Death Metal Podcast. So I wrote a number on a paper, and we're only going to go from 1 to 50, all right? Now in the chat, write one number between 1 to 50, and whoever hits the number first, I'm going to let them know. So it's from 1 to 50, and only one time. You get one chance. So pick a number between 1 to 50, and we'll see who the winner is of a Necroharmonic shirt, I guess, the next time we make some. 32, no dice. All right, bring it on, guys. This is for a free shirt. No on 66. No. Let's see who's going to hit it. No. It's on this paper here, so you'll show that I'm not taking any bias whatsoever. 666. No. Come on, somebody's got to do this. You get a free shirt. I appreciate everybody that does support this show. So I figure, you know what? We need to do like small little things like this to show listener support. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. Nobody hit it yet. Someone came close. All right, come on. One of you's Faucet Freak. Only one time. Who else? Anyone else? Almost. 89. We're going to 50. 138. That's what I'm saying, brother. I got to get that Houston Raps tape. I got to get that book. I confessed my love to rap on IG yesterday, I think, and that was pretty dope. 92, exactly. Nope. Sorry, Mark. 30, nope. Nobody hit this. Really? Not one person? 1 to 50. With 1 to 50 is the range. It's not a huge range. It's come close as shit. So bring it on. This is for a free shirt. All you got to do is send me your address. Unfortunately, I probably have to mail it worldwide. Come on, bring it on, anyone. Nobody. Damn, man. You guys are slipping. Somebody was super close. This is for a free shirt from Necroharmonic. The new design by Ian Clawwaite. No on the 13. No. Wait, no. Close. Two closes. What's up, Sandra, my sister? Love you. Today, Bridget graduated high school. She's a senior and she graduated, so all my kids are out of school. Nobody has won the contest yet. Pick a number between 1 and 50, and you win a free shirt, Necroharmonic. Come on, Vacuous Depths. Did you take your chance already? I see people throwing multiples, but you know what? At this point, no one hit it yet. 26. All right, that's the number. So here's the winner. You know what? I did say right beforehand that I could take multiples. So you hit it, Faucet Freak. 26. Tonight's your lucky night. You win a free Necroharmonic shirt. Next up, we got Siverus. That was Siverus. Yeah, they're cool dudes too. They've been on the live stream before. They I didn't think they were gonna come on for some reason, but I remember I talked to the one dude in the death metal, the singer, in the death metal podcast, IG or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll come on." And like sometimes like people say that, but they don't come on. So I sent them a link, and then it was like midnight, 9 p.m. their time on Saturday. And that guy, they came on, man, and they did a small interview. I remember Francisco was on, a couple other people, and I told them, I was like, you know what? You need to come back on here and get your shine, because I would like to do a real interview with you guys, because they like the music they're making is pretty phenomenal. And then on top of that, they were cool dudes, you know, they were younger. You know, there was a generational gap between myself, obviously, and them, but like not really, because I'm a fan, you know. So there's no generational gap if I'm a fan, right? Kind of reminds you of Neurosis. I thought they were like, and their demo was played like more like live like that too. So like for some reason, I'm more into like a live sound than I am like a recorded one. I think I noticed that like I kind of like hesitated buying their demo actually, because it said it was live. And I was like, I don't know if I want to buy a demo that's live to hear their first thing. I want to hear their demo first, because I think they had a demo before that. So I'm like a chronological guy, trying to listen to the band chronologically usually. And then they had like a live demo or something. And I was like, I don't know. But then eventually I just caved in. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy this. And then I copped it. I'm not listening to it at all either. I just trusted Transylvania Tapes at the time. And I was like, whoa, this is like super hard. And yeah, and since then they did put out a full length with them. Shout out to James, cool dude. Shout out to Sivers. We should have them on here. You know, they were super cool. Maybe they would answer questions. I'll see what's up. You know, I mean, I got to keep it short though. I know that. And then our time differences, it's like we would have to do it like later, like we did tonight's live stream, because I feel like they didn't get enough shine on the one they did with us, because there was like a bunch of old dudes and me, and I'm like the only one that knew about the band, you know. But in the future, you know, we'll try to get them on. They're sick. Their stuff is show and prove. Here's another band that's show and proved in in the year 19. Cemeterian. All right, I had to leave my comment first. That's why I took a split second there. The girls are in the scene, fellas. Don't let you fool you. And I was saying it's less. Hold on a sec. It's less than it used to be. Those chicks. I see ladies getting into it. That's why I wanted to let people know. Like I've been seeing more and more ladies getting into the show than just standing there looking the other direction. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been seeing way more like hanging out and getting into the show, like way more. And you know that from Texas already, Francisco. That's a rare. Maybe a couple of years ago, right, Francisco? But Francisco said shows in Texas are 50-50 ladies to men. So I mean that's even sicker because I wasn't. It wasn't like that in New Jersey. It was like 10-1. Ladies be playing the music. That's what I'm saying. You see more women out there playing music, you know, whether it be like a Frozen Soul or Crypta or Robin, who plays in Dracada, Gruesome, you know, you see her on the road doing merch for bands. So they're mad into the scene, you know. When I went to see the Mortician show in Rhode Island, I saw just a lot of chicks that were just specifically there just to watch Mortician. And like they weren't like, you know, trying to be like, it wasn't a hoedown, you know. It was all about like them and the band, you know, just watching a band, which is sick. I saw that at Metal Threat too. I saw somebody, remember a chick that was just like watching stuff. She was like from Alaska, and like she just repped band after band after band, you know. Just that's a true supporter, you know, and it's cool to see those. So Death Metal Podcast supports those. Girls rock it harder than dudes sometimes, exactly. But yeah, wish you could find one. Too many bands think that stuff. Exactly. So that's what we got to dispel those myths. I mean, I've been to shows, so I can tell you straight up, like girls are there more than they were, and they're more into it than they were, and they're even playing shit. So it's like, God damn. That's a cool feeling to me because I don't know, just like I got my own kids literally, and then I'm like, damn, I'm like one of these kids gonna be a musician someday. All right, so next up, something disgusting anyway, cystic hydrogamia, the retrospective of abusive disfigurements. Oh wait, we played that already. I'm sorry, guys. Let me see. We can't play that. So let's see. We got Gorified. That's it. Sorry. The exchange of information on Death Metal Podcast is where it's at. So that was Stenched. So yeah, and Francisco played that yesterday or something. I wish the Scourge would get back together. And he plays an Impending Rot, which we've played on here before. The Impending Rot demo, I guess it's considered. It's pretty sick. Castle Umbra is another good one from Mexico. Cool. I'll have to check that out at some point. Viva los auténticos maniacs mexicanos per los cabros falsos. I gotta brush up for Carla, you know, and that way I could, you know, be bilingual on my podcast. We need a bilingual, I need like a bilingual podcast guest, so I could do like a death metal podcast in like Chile. I told John McEntee on live stream on Facebook, because he kept mentioning how he was playing in like Peru, Chile, Paraguay, all these countries. I told him, I was like, yo, man, you should just move there, bro. And he's like, well, I live in North Carolina right now, but he's like, you know what, man? He's like, I think that, what do you call it? He's like, I could see myself maybe moving there. Because I was like, dude, you're getting so much love from there. You might as well just move there. Play Paraguay, you know? Disgorge my shit. All right, so we're at the 2-hour mark where Death Metal Podcast ends. So see you guys later. But you know what I mean? Like, we're going to start winding it down, play a few more songs. And like I said, for now on, Death Metal Podcast not going to be like a 7-hour fucking episode every time. Because I don't need that. Like, I don't need to, like, people can't even consume it straight, you know? If there is anybody out there and then, like, you are consuming, like, 7-hour Death Metal Podcasts, hit me up at necroharmonic@gmail.com and let me know, because I could give you some like audios of like other ones that are long as fuck and they're pretty brutal. But I can't like go live for 7 hours or 6 hours or 4 hours anymore. It's like doesn't seem feasible. I'd rather, you know, put out like multiple newer things faster, if that makes any sense. Because X amount of days passes, and then I'm like, damn, man, there's like a lot of new stuff I want to talk about. So I feel like, you know, maybe I'll split it up, a few more interviews. Just try to, you know, keep it keep it a little more harsh and just like straight up, you know, information. You know, we showed, you know, upcoming tours. I wanted to definitely let people know too about this Anatomia tour in Europe. You know what I mean? So definitely stuff like that. And then Undergang coming back to US. I wanted to converse on this real quick, and maybe the chat would converse on this, which I don't think this is right, but you guys tell me. I see this meme all the time. CDs and cassettes, 2 people, shirts. There's like thousands of people that buy shirts. Do you guys believe this or not? I'm just out of curiosity. Does anyone in the chat think that more people buy shirts than CDs and cassettes? That's the question of the night before I'm out of here. I'm just wondering, you know, if anybody, you know, like just out of curiosity. Nothing wrong with a shirt. True that. You think it's true? Young people don't have music collections. I love cassettes too, though. Same here. I'm a cassette guy. Cassettes are cheap, so I try to buy cassettes. I mean, some people here prefer to buy digital, but I can't rock a digital shirt. I'm all for buying the music first. People may buy shirts because more cheese goes to them. Ooh, oh, big words. It is true. I mean, more cheese goes to them in the longer game. I buy 3 CDs, maybe 2 a year. Tapes cost as much as LPs now. They maybe to manufacture, but not price-wise. I prefer cassette over CD. Right now, I'm a cassette guy too. LPs for collecting. LPs. Some people are LP collectors, but nobody more with the shirts, right? So this is a fallacy, right? I try to buy more music than shirts. You think it's definitely true? Okay. I don't own a CD player that can be one that's not skipping anymore. That's true too. I buy 1 billion CDs a year since the 90s. Another guy asked me if I'm buying any shirts, and I replied, I can't listen to a shirt. Okay, this going back to DMP. I dig the long podcast, but shit takes a toll regardless. Over the shirts and CDs, true, I still have all my shirts, vinyls, everything. Still listen to CDs in the car. Okay. Lots of kids do streaming, physical format, LP over shirt. LP always. At Sean Hart, no respect to the art. You know what people are going through to print CDs. Yeah. I mean, same with shirts. Prices of vinyl are super expensive, I noticed. I'm a CD collector. So we got a lot of straight up collectors, physical media collectors in this live stream. So I wasn't bugging out by thinking this was wrong, actually. Because I was thinking, like, I sell shirts too. So, like, I'm like, there's not that many people buying CDs. I mean, shirts as there is CDs and tapes. It's pretty, I bet you it's equal or less, you know? I mean, that's my opinion, only as a person who's been selling shirts for like 20 fucking years. Shirts are high too. Exactly. Like me. Support the band any way you can. That's true. That's what I try to do. And then if they just have shirts, I might cop a shirt. You can't prove you're cool if you're plastered death metal merch in dead formats for that reason. A person is correct about margin profits are better for merch for bands. Merch, so like any merch, yeah, like at shows, shirts are important for bands to like get paid, you know? So I didn't think about that too much. Like shirts are kind of important for bands to get like a little cheese for playing the show, like, you know what I mean? So like if you cop band shirts, it's a little more direct. Even Bandcamp shirts, you know, people do shirt drops. I saw Crowbar was giving out 8x10s with shirts. Nothing ever beat physical copies, especially when we called back in the day. My friends traded tapes. That's like me. Merch core. Trading tapes needs to make a comeback. I agree with that too. I find it hard to trade tapes. $10. Usually tapes are $10, so I buy tapes over CDs. Well, CDs can be $10. Ordering from a catalog or from record labels. Yeah, record labels are put money into the band. You know what I mean? So like sometimes bands don't want to do mail. So like basically like they want a record label between them and the mail band, which, you know, obviously a record label could be more efficient if they're doing it every day anyway. Tapes are cute too. One of my favorite bands, Riff Lord. Back in the day, we discovered bands because of shirts. Yeah, it was one of the few ways. Yeah, like Dan Lilker would wear like his Broken Bones shirt. We were talking about this. Or, you know, we would see like Dan Lilker wearing a shirt, or Metallica wearing Misfits shirts. And then like next thing you know what I mean? It was like, who is that? I even look sometimes now, maybe I might look at the singer of Gatecreeper, what shirt he has on. I miss the days of a $15 t-shirt. Speaking of t-shirts, buy a Necroharmonic shirt. That's what I'm saying. On necroharmonic.com. And up next, we got old stuff, Cadaveric and Dysentery. Two different things, I think, here. So that was Dysentery. Bring Me No Tears. Bring Me No Tears. So that was a good release though back in the day, a long time ago. It'd been a while since I had listened to that. So obviously, even with death metal podcasts, like I try to find more obscure death metal to play. Sometimes like a little more like scuzzy, that was not really commercial. You know what I mean? A Euro friggin' dirt. I like I guess they started to call it like gore grind as time went on, as the bands were faster or had fast parts. But there's some death metal mixed in there, and maybe Dysentery from there would like definitely be one of those bands. So one or two more songs. Here's the old school, because I got to go old school all the time on here, right? Obscene.
But